Join us for a heat of the Stonor Challenge Trophy, the premier women's double sculls. You have Twigg and Sypher of Sydney Rowing Club and Hawke's Bay Rowing from the left-hand side of your screen, the yellow boat, the white boat, and you have Gutfleisch and Meakin in that yellow boat on the right-hand side of your screen.
We see the boats starting to move towards each other. Again, those angles are really hard in the coxless boats. Being warned now by Gwynbat and the umpire just to move away and give each other a bit of space at this very fast beginnings of this race.
Two international boats there, the right-hand side of your screen. Gutfleisch and Meakin. Gutfleisch is German, Meakin is Swiss, just about half a length up there off the end of the island. And the second boat, the white boat you see in the top of your screen, Twigg of New Zealand and Sypher of Australia.
So we have got 4 brilliant international athletes to witness here. Again, really lovely to see the combinations coming together. Obviously, usually they'd be competing for their own country, but here at Henley they get to come together, 2 nations united in each boat there.
Yeah, it's the nice part of international rowing, isn't it? People have a chat, say who wants to get together, who wants to race at Henley. Now, these aren't just your run-of-the-mill club rowers. You're looking there in the bow seat of Lisa Gutfleisch of Germany. She's just returned days ago from gold medal at the Lucerne World Cup in the women's quadruple scull for Germany. And Meakin raced internationally for the Swiss quad, so they're not too bad. They're looking pretty good there as they're moving away, it seems. A little bit more aggressive, but the second door behind them, they're not too bad either, Catherine.
Well, we've just seen Emma Twigg there in the bow seat of the white boat glance across. She's keeping a beady eye on the opposition, and it looks like in that cut that she's just actually moved through.
So Emma Twigg, bow seat there, has a little across the black and white of Hawke's Bay. Don't be fooled by that. She's Olympic champion in the women's single scull, Olympic silver medalist in the women's scull, 5-time Olympian. She knows what she's doing. She's won here in a single several times. And I think she had a little look around and decided to actually get going, which she didn't quite do off the start.
No, but what I love here is, I mean, both crews are keeping an eye on each other. You know, there's not a big gap between these two crews, either in distance from side to side, but also in the gap between the two. So it does feel like, again, a double. It's a brilliant boat to move quickly. These are crews that won't have spent a lot of time together. So again, when this sort of side-by-side battle, there's also a sense of, how good has your communication got? How quick can you start responding in crews that are sort of effectively scratch crews you haven't raced a lot in together? In this moment in the spotlight, all these crews have come to Henley for a reason. They want a title, they want to go through to the next round. We know only one can make it in the match racing, and they're both going to map the second half of the course. So everything will be asked of both crews.
Emma there knows what she's doing. She's been down this course many times, the most experienced rower in this lineup right now. She's actually been made a steward of Henley Royal Regatta, so I think she's actually been doing duties this morning. So she knows the course, she knows when to move, and right now, tight race, but this white boat there of Sypher and Twigg of Sydney Rowing Club and Hawke's Bay Rowing Club sitting just a length up on this Swiss-Germany double.
Yeah, that looks like they've moved out a nice distance then. And how much value do you think it is having someone, as you said, of Emma Twigg's experience on this particular course, in the bow seat, giving the calls, giving that reassuring voice in that sort of when those boats are so close together?
Well, Henley's a strange one. We don't have normally these crews you're looking at here, international rowers. They're used to going down a 2,000 metre course, knowing exactly where they are. They get markers every 250 metres. At Henley, we have very random things like the barrier and the Forley and the Remenham Club. So if you don't know them, you almost could get lost on this course. So having that experience in the bow seat, Emma's just going to be saying to Grace, singing in front of her, we've got this, I know where we are, I know when to move, we've just moved through them, they've given everything they got off the end of the island, this is our race now.
And what we're seeing now is that experience paying off, isn't it? It's just that confidence that, exactly as you said, she's glancing around, she knows the markers, she knows what there is still to come. You get that sense in the boat, isn't it, of how much energy and you've used up and how much you still have to go. But again, all the angles we're seeing, I'm really enjoying both of these doubles. They're really very high standard of sculling.
Grace Sypher in that light blue of Sydney there. You can see her, she's lightweight under-23 champion in the single scull. Emma, Olympic champion in the single scull. It really shows here, though, that standing in the middle of the podium, you need something about you. You need to be decisive. You need to be aggressive. You need to be a champion. And right now, they're showing us why they're the winners. Emma Little, look around there to the progress boards. They're still gunning it, but what a show there. To come through this crew that were beating them. Gutfleisch and Meakin, they were down, but they held their heads as they're coming into the very closing stages, knowing they've got another race tomorrow in this absolutely wall-to-wall stacked event. The Stonor Challenge Trophy for the open women's doubles. Are they out of breath? A little bit. That's a win in the Stonor for Sypher and Twigg over Gutfleisch and Meakin.